defender, number 16, Will.
Número 19 y defensor, Zico.
A defender and captain, number 22, Kalen.
Número 24, defensor, Jalen.
A midfielder, number 6, Gideon.
Número 8, mediocampista, Marlon.
A midfielder, number 15, Usman.
Número 9, delantero, Luis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the site of tonight's Western Conference heavyweight showdown between number 1 Monterey Bay FC and number 4 New Mexico United. Welcome into the lab. We've got some Wednesday night soccer action. The 2025 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined for the first time this season by Chris Hurst. And Chris, we've got two defensive teams coming in here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how both teams set up. Some of the best defenses in the entire league, like you said, two goalkeepers bang on form as well. So, yeah, going to be real interesting whether it's the chess match or who comes out firing.
Plenty to get into tonight. Let's go ahead and have a look at our players.
Rapids scored an important goal in the run-in.
On the other side, we're going to be paying attention to the man between the sticks, the Spaniard, Nico Campuzano. He comes in 3 clean sheets, posting another one coming off the last weekend against Lexington.
Campuzano...
For Victor and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything, but this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
You're full of sorrow.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
How about now?
Welcome back to the lab. Kickoff moments away. The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official partner of the United Soccer.
Number 20, straight through the middle, Elijah Paul. That's someone who New Mexico United will certainly be keeping an eye on.
That is the man running the action here today. That is our center official, Greg Dopka. Assistants, Christian Cleric, Noah Kenyawani, and our fourth official, Charlie Delgadillo. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Delighted to welcome you into the broadcast booth. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. New Mexico, Chris, with a victory tonight and a result in the other match going on, have a chance to go top of the West.
Yeah, and it's crazy so early on in the season. I think it was maybe 2 years ago they had 2 byes early on in the season, so that it felt like they were playing catch-up the whole year, and now already 2 games in hand, this being one of them. And yeah, just the chance to go top, and that's obviously what they did last year. And once they got up there, it was hard to pick them off.
New Mexico, of course, having their best season in club history last year, posting 18 wins, finished on 59 points. They were defeated in the Western Conference semifinals by none other than their now head coach, Dennis Sanchez, and the Las Vegas Lights. It's still looking to continue building on that success this year, Chris. Of course, the departure of then manager Eric Quill. He's now coaching FC Dallas in the MLS. And, for New Mexico, going out and getting Dennis Sanchez, that's a big deal this season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the difference in Las Vegas last year from the previous season was, it was different sports.
Bailey, Jabang lets this run. Here's Seymour. He has a pop. And Will Seymour, less than 90 seconds into this one, sends it over the crossbar.
Yeah, you can see he just took a little bobble right before Will Seymour tried to unleash the shot there. But an early sight for New Mexico United. And Campuzano, most saves in the USL Championship. You can look at that two ways. Obviously, very, very well accomplished goalkeeper. Or you can look at it the other way. I'm sure New Mexico United have thought about this as well. Do Monterey Bay give up a lot of chances?
New Mexico, of course, will be looking to capitalize on those chances. Coming into today, Chris, they've won 4 consecutive matches, 3 of those by a final score of 1-0. And so they're going to be looking to get off the mark early.
Yeah, and that's maybe one side for New Mexico United in the opening 5 games where they haven't been free scoring. It was the Las Vegas Lights game where they've managed to score 3. And other than that, it's been 1 goal in every game. So that'll be something maybe shackles come off and try and really take charge of the game, You
see Zico Bailey applying some pressure there to Campuzano. Bailey, you typically don't see Zico Bailey this high up the pitch. But with the absence of Greg Hurst, New Mexico trying some things out here.
But you can see already that it is going to be very similar to the relationship with Vargas and Hurst. It's very much, one is on the right side, right forward, one is left forward. They're basically defending a 4-4-2 right now. And so there, Zico Bailey's the higher of the two. Vargas just slips in behind just to try and take away passing lanes into the 6 there. So it'll be a similar relationship.
The Seasiders looking to strike early. The cross goes in right into the waiting arms of Alex Tambakis. Monterey Bay, last time they visited the lab, Chris, scored twice, conceded 3. It was a 3-2 win for the black and yellow that last August. On the score sheet that day for New Mexico, Makwele Akale, Jacobo Reyes, and Kalen Ryden. And historically, trips to Albuquerque, well, they haven't paid off for the Seasiders, Chris. They're 0-3-0. They've been outscored 7-3 in their 3 visits to Albuquerque so far. Each match, they've conceded at least 2 goals.
You could also say it the other way around. New Mexico United have never won in Monterey either. So
That's true.
Neither team really has enjoyed historically visiting the other. So, New Mexico United, the fans in the building tonight will be hoping that continues. Monterey Bay, though, off to a flying start this year.
This is a club that, in their history, their short history, this is a club that came around in 2022, Monterey Bay, yet to make the postseason. And so looking to reverse that trend, especially this season with the hot start they're on, sitting atop the table here with 7 games played. This will be a throw in here for Garcia. For Garcia, this is his first season with Monterey Bay. 7 appearances for the 22-year-old. Campuzano. Galloway turned that ball over. Here comes Fernando, the Brazilian, goes down. And Greg Dopka signals for a free kick. So this will be a TLC free kick. TLC plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. So it looks like Vargas is going to stand over this. And while we've got a second, I'll tell you about this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Vargas and Akale both standing over this 2-man wall. It's Vargas. Nobody there making the run at the back post. Seymour battling there with Malongo. Watch this roll out. This will be a throw in here for New Mexico. Seymour making his 86th appearance for the club tonight, and that's a look at Dennis Sanchez. We talked about his first season in black and yellow. Dropped his first match in charge out at Sacramento, and since then, Chris, it's been 4 wins on the trot.
That's a tough start going straight out to Sacramento, isn't it? As soon as the schedule came out, you know, that's a tough one. But New Mexico United, you said, you know, the last 4 games, that's the only blot on the record so far. But same for Monterey Bay as well, only 1 loss so far. New Mexico United, the stingiest defense in the entire USL Championship. Monterey, the 4th best defense, but Monterey have, it's like the 4th most goals in the championship. So they've found a good balance between defense and offense. New Mexico United with those 3 1-0 wins in a row, that's where maybe the balance, you know, they're obviously very tight at the back. And, you know, already early on in this game, there's that one cross that Monterey have managed to do, but they're struggling to unlock them.
Fernando is looking to connect to the end of that pass from Kalen Ryden. It was cut out, I believe, by Guzman.
But there, you just mentioned, that's one player I'm really excited to see with my own eyes. Fernando, watching him play last year for Memphis, I felt like he's someone that could really help New Mexico United unlock some defenses.
Fernando spent the last 3 seasons with Memphis, scored 15 goals, and now another searching ball, that one looking for Zico Bailey. And instead, it's going to be played out by Lyons. Miles Lyons, the former El Paso man, spent the last 3 seasons with the Locomotive, scored twice. That is somebody who is very familiar with playing the black and yellow. Elijah Paul trying to work his way out of that double team. Monterey Bay able to retain possession. Here's the captain, Nico Gordon. Had some huge defensive stops in that weekend match against Lexington.
This is a TLC free kick.
Here's Malongo. Go back to Gordon. Nico Gordon, 22-year-old. Bailey tried to flick that on. Down goes Fernando. And Greg Dopka acknowledges the foul, and this is going to be a TLC free kick here for New Mexico.
The movement of the 2 wide players there for New Mexico United. Fernando and Quale, they're both running out to in, and Monterey Bay finding it really hard to track those runs.
And that is Jordan Stewart, the Monterey Bay FC manager. Jordan Stewart, an illustrious playing career, almost 400 professional appearances. Everybody from Leicester City all the way to Phoenix Rising, everywhere in between, it seems like. What a career for Jordan Stewart now. Plying his trade on the touchline. Here's Vargas. That one comes through, and Campuzano, couldn't tell if he got a touch to it or if somebody in the middle of the box got a touch to it. Either way, it's a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick.
Campuzano, I can't tell if he just got disorientated and maybe thought it was sneaking in. I assume it was a defending touch by Monterey Bay, so he was trying to save the corner, but just too much on it. So another set-piece opportunity for New Mexico United.
Vargas plays it short to Akale. Here's Fernando now atop the 18. Ball headed out. Falls to Zalalam. Zalalam now. Cross goes into the box. Cleared away from Talon Maples. This will be a throw in here for New Mexico. Gorgeous weather, Chris, and it is pups on the pitch night. Beautiful 80 degrees and lots of our four-legged furry friends out on the grass berm area. Here's Jalen Lindsay. He scored his first goal in black and yellow a week ago tonight in the Open Cup loss against El Paso. It's Miquele Akale serving one up at the back post for him to head home. And what New Mexico fans thought was the game winner, Chris, and El Paso struck late right before the final whistle in second half stoppage time and eventually prevailed in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, I mean, never want to, drop out of that competition. New Mexico United got a great history in that competition as well. But, we were chatting a little bit off air as well. Already 2 games in hand. The fixtures are going to pile up at some point. So, New Mexico United, I'm sure, they 100% would have loved to have been in the hat for the next round. But maybe a little blessing in disguise as well.
Still 2 more pieces of silverware to play for with the upcoming Jägermeister Cup, which we'll speak about a little bit later as that shot just goes wide past a sprawling Alex Tambakis. Looked like he had his lines covered. For the Jägermeister Cup, which starts play on Saturday. Chris, you and I are going to be here as New Mexico United welcome Union Omaha to the lab. It's the first time New Mexico will take on a League One opponent here at friendly confines, or at all for that matter. Excited to see the new competition.
Yeah, it's always great to add something new. I don't know if you follow the Champions League over in Europe. They changed the format this year, and there was a lot of hesitation. Is it going to be good? It's been tremendous. It was absolutely amazing watch. Games meant so much more early on, and another competition where another opportunity to play teams that we don't normally play, that any team doesn't normally play. It just adds a little bit of excitement to the season.
Malongo looking for Paul. That ball overhit. Yeah, I see what you did there. You asked if I've been following the Champions League, knowing that my club are not in the Champions League. They will not be named, but no. I see what you did there.
I don't think a Sunderland fan gets to talk trash about that at all, so you read far too much into that.
15th minute here at the lab, scoreless between New Mexico United and Monterey Bay FC. Thanks for joining us here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst, delighted to be here. It is a perfect night for some soccer action here in Albuquerque. Here's Seymour here on the near side. Akale now. Akale, he and Marlon Vargas both coming off of assists in back-to-back games in all comps. Lindsay going back post. Jabang plays it back in. We've got a whistle from Greg Dopka.
You see, you're talking about the weather. There's just that little patch in the 18-yard box, Monterey Bay's 18-yard box, and the assistant referee, it was Lindsay at left back, and players on that side of the field were just struggling. The sun was just at the perfect angle, just passing through the gaps in the stadium, basically, where they weren't able to see. And you see, it's still just causing a little bit of trouble in the 18-yard box there, but other than that, if you can't play soccer tonight, you need to find another sport. It is beautiful out here.
Guzman sends that ball wide, and that's going to give us time to have a look at our keys to the game. Those are brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation for New Mexico. Keep the shutout streak. As we mentioned, New Mexico have not conceded a goal in over 3 matches. Defend the lab. They're perfect at home so far this season. And as we were just speaking about, shake off that Open Cup loss last Tuesday. Tambakis well out of his box. And Tambakis not present at last Wednesday's match where New Mexico were defeated by El Paso, but it was good to see Chris Shakes get the start, Chris. It's Somebody we've only seen him make 2 starts so far in his one season in black and yellow. Just the passion that guy has, the smile he has, how he plays the game. He's fun to watch.
For sure. I remember last year, it was his second game, I believe it was, where he got his first ever clean sheet, and the reaction of all the players, the staff running on the field to celebrate that as well. That was a great moment, a highlight of last year for sure.
Here's a look at our injury report brought to you by Ben Sherman Law. Seymour looking to play this into the box. It gets to Akale. Bailey lets it run. Jabang. He sends it over the crossbar. New Mexico asking some questions here in the opening 20 minutes. Here's a look at that replay as Bailey just lets it run, and Jabang, he was under it from the start.
It's encouraging signs, though, for New Mexico United as well, though, especially in wide areas. They're really having a lot of joy in those wide areas. It's finding that right ball. There's no real, with no Greg Hurst, you can see there's no real, easy for me to say, no real runner into the 6-yard box. So everything's having to be a cutback, and there, great job by Zico Bailey to just do the little step over. Yeah, Japan just got the finish wrong. But again, those wide areas, New Mexico United have definitely found a weakness there.
Score update there for you, and I'm sure New Mexico United fans buzzing to see that score line. Switchbacks able to get at least a point here tonight. New Mexico able to pick up a win. That'll send the black and yellow to the top of the Western Conference table. Bailey was looking to work his way around Galloway there. Here's Fernando. Finds Jabang. And Usman Jabang wins the corner. Usman Jabang, the Georgia native, was acquired just into the start of the season by New Mexico. Here's Vargas. Vargas just looking for a window to get a cross in, and Vargas does well to win another corner. But back to Jabang, Chris. He was somebody that played for head coach Dennis Sanchez last year at Las Vegas Lights. Obviously a player he really likes. Yeah,
and I mean, he's basically stepping into the role that Nanan Hosu was so important for New Mexico United last season. But I'll tell you what, he's fun to watch, Jabang. He just glides around the pitch.
Corner goes in, initially headed. It's going to fall to Zalalam. Bailey had a pop, it was blocked. And now this could be trouble. Rebelar takes it off of Zico Bailey. Tambakis is off his line, and Rebelar sends it wide. What an opportunity for the Seasiders.
You could see Zico Bailey, he had a little nibble as well, and it was kind of hold your breath moment. Was he going to bring Rebelar down? And then Tambakis was scrambling, and Rebelar saw him off his line. Gutsy move trying to just dink him from there, and it was not far away at all, and Tambakis could not have done anything about it if that happened to be on target.
Here comes Zico Bailey now. Finds Vargas. Fernando. Flag stays down. Fernando goes down. Vargas eventually dispossessed. It's been frenetic here over the last couple minutes. Here comes Malongo looking to cut inside. Down goes Akale. And Akale tracking back to do some defensive work.
That's what I was just about to say, because Malongo was off to the races there. Seymour actually tried to bring him down on the halfway line, missed his tackle, and Akale just tracks him step for step the entire way down the pitch. And Malongo looks powerful, really powerful, and Akale is not exactly the most imposing figure ever, but he gets body position and just draws the foul. Really good wide play and defensive work by Akale there.
Malongo already with 2 goals scored this season, and you can see just with the pace and the power that he possesses, he's somebody you've got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and it's two opportunities there for Monterey Bay in transition. New Mexico United are pouring players forward, really are. Every opportunity they're getting. Both outside backs are bombing on, and the first opportunity was Seco Bailey tries to take a touch on his chest and he doesn't really have time to deal with it. Should maybe just played it first time, and then that one, just the pace and power of Malongo.
The shot goes in, and Vargas just sends it wide. Tons of opportunities here, Chris, through the opening 22 minutes.
We talked about it a little earlier, like with the Campazano being the top save owner in the entire USL Championship, and you can see why. There are a lot of chances, and I tell you what, Vargas, he's picking up just these areas just behind the 2 centre mids and in front of the centre backs, and no one's really picking them up. And New Mexico United doing a great job of getting the ball into his feet and passing and moving, and his movement in there is really causing Monterey Bay some issues right now.
Revelar has that poked away. Miles Lyons, the Tucson, Arizona native. Just slowing down a little bit here after some real end-to-end action. Paul runs into a brick wall there. New Mexico looking to counter. Straight pass there from Jabang. Gordon, and they'll go back to square one. Garcia finds Malongo. Malongo tried to get by Seymour. Well done defensively there from the New Mexico veteran.
It's interesting, we were thinking that maybe this might be a bit of a cagey affair, but just looking at the stats so far for this first half, where at the 25th minute and already 21 shots on target. 12 for New Mexico United.
Here's Lindsay. One touch off to Zico Bailey. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, no, I'm good. But it has been a lot more open than what we thought, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the opportunities where, again, been a few saves for Campazano as well, and the scrambling by Tambakis. It wasn't a shot that was on target. But yeah, I mean, it's been a little more open than maybe what we thought. I was fearing, a very, very cagey affair, but both teams have played their part in an entertaining first 25 minutes.
Here's Malongo once again. The Malawi international. Down goes Malongo, and Will Seymour now goes into the book here just 26 minutes in. Seymour trying to plead his case.
I don't see much argument there, to be honest. That's Seymour had a little nibble earlier on in the counter attack that we were talking about, where Calais tracked all the way back, but Monterey Bay getting the ball to Malongo as often as possible, get him running at Will Seymour and see if he can draw another foul, and then you've got to ask the question of the referee. So expect a lot of the ball to go down this left-hand side now for Monterey Bay.
It's a dangerous set piece here for the Crisp and Kelp. Looks like Garcia's going to break away. Played in by Fair. No problem there for Alex Tambakis. Tambakis tonight making his 126th league appearance for New Mexico. Having a great season so far, Chris. He's got 3 clean sheets, just 4 goals conceded, 5 starts. On average, giving up less than 1 goal per game.
Yeah, and you know, I say Tambakis and the visitors tonight, Monterey Bay on three clean sheets as well. Las Vegas, the only club in the entire USL Championship with more clean sheets, with 4. Looks like it's going to be another good season for Las Vegas after, again, not last season, the season before. 2 years ago, it was an awful.
Yep.
It was, you know, it was an awful season, but amazing season yesterday, and they've started really well again this year as well.
Long ball hit, looking for Malongo once again. That time, Alex Tambakis up to the task. They're really looking to isolate Malongo out there on an island and just let him go to work.
Especially with Will Seymour on a yellow card as well. He has to tread very, very carefully for a huge chunk of this game now.
Here's Fernando. First Brazilian in club history. Through ball here for Bailey, and the cross almost snuck through to Jabang. Was cleared away at the last moment by Galloway. And this is going to be another Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Take another look here on this TLC replay. Zico Bailey. Well, he got it through the first 2, but it was the third defender able to clear it away.
And that ball was on as well. I think it was maybe Jabang was waiting for it as well, and a really important interception there.
Akale looking back post. It falls, and Jabang puts New Mexico ahead. For Usman Jabang, it's his first goal in black and yellow. And welcome to the lab.
Great set piece there by New Mexico United. Play it short, draw Monterey Bay off the post as well, and it's recycled at the back post. Ball finds its way to Akale. And what a great ball it was into the back post, but then drops to Jabang, and he just has to pass it. Just has to be calm. He had a chance earlier on where he maybe snatched at it and put it into the crowd, and this one he made no mistake. Nice and calm and just passes it into the back of the net.
New Mexico United goals are presented by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you. And that is Usman Jabang putting New Mexico United on top here on the score sheet. And Chris, the live table, don't look now, New Mexico United fans. The black and yellow back in the number 1 position now, with Switchbacks holding a 2-0 lead over San Antonio at the break.
I mean, I can now say that I was worried that tonight was going to be 0-0. Monterey Bay's last 2 away games were both 0-0. Such tight defenses, but like we said a few moments ago, been a really open start to the game. And New Mexico United, you've got to say, have had the better chances. They've certainly asked the more questions. Monterey Bay have been dangerous on the counter-attack, but New Mexico United will probably feel like they've done enough to warrant the 1-goal lead.
Alex Tambakis back between the sticks tonight, as we mentioned. The USL Championship's all-time saves leader coming into tonight, 631. Huge goal, and, you know, for New Mexico, they have to be breathing a massive sigh of relief, Chris. They've been leaving it late lately.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely have. And, you know, I believe New Mexico United have crossed into the 300 minutes since the last time they conceded a goal as well. So, you know, they've got to feel pretty good about themselves. Again, it's chances from distance, really, for Monterey Bay so far. Haven't really been able to pick the lock. And New Mexico United on the front foot, especially in wide areas. Again, just looked very, very dangerous already tonight.
And the early goal here might change the complexion of this game now. We're going to have to see Monterey Bay start to open up a little bit more. And you know, for Dennis Sanchez, with the speed that he has on the outsides, that's exactly what he wants. Campuzano making a mess of it. Luckily for him, able to pounce back on that. Vargas was looking to open his account this season.
The opportunity came at Vargas. Vargas almost too quickly. He didn't have time to process or work out what he wanted to do. And Campuzano, to his credit as well, as soon as he made the mistake, he pounced on it quickly as well. So made amends for that mistake very, very quickly.
Fans, you can watch your favorite USL teams battle it out in the Jägermeister Cup, the first ever interleague competition, including all championship and League One teams. Round 1 begins this weekend. First game start on Friday. New Mexico will play their first game on Saturday as they welcome Union Omaha to the lab. 7 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in for that one. Black and yellow now looking for a second. Bailey able to turn, was held up by Revelar. Ball just kind of bouncing around, and New Mexico able to settle down in possession now. Vargas.
Just relentless right now by New Mexico United. As soon as they give the ball away, they just swarm around and almost force Monterey Bay to cough it up again, and really struggling to get out of their own half right now.
You know, and the travel, something of note for Monterey Bay. They were in Lexington on the weekend. They flew straight to Albuquerque. And when you've been away from home for a few days, you're just not yourself.
Yeah, routines are all thrown off like it is. There's nothing like your own bed, right?
Here's Fernando. Cheeky backheel there from the Brazilian, unable to connect with Lindsay. Moby Fair now leading the counter. Here's Paul. And on the flip side for New Mexico, Chris, they haven't played in a week. And even at that, they were at home last Wednesday.
And it does. It makes a huge difference. I mean, but if anyone knows what it's like being on the road all the time, New Mexico United are certainly that team. So, you know, that's probably been at least one of the cliff notes leading up to this game is, you know, the intensity, like I say, how relentless they've been in terms of once the ball is turned over, just trying to win it back immediately, not giving Monterey Bay time to think.
Cross goes in, and it's dealt with by the captain, Kalen Ryden.
That Lexington game was a battle as well. They had to put a lot into that, and maybe got a little fortuitous at the end as well with the goal that was called back. And it could have been a little different.
Yeah, and they survived what we can call an onslaught there from Lexington over the final few minutes to get out of there with a draw. And Campuzano again being pressured by Vargas. We talked about the last time these two teams met. What I was trying to say. Spoke about that 78th minute goal from Kalen Ryden. That was actually the most recent goal that he scored. Found the back of the net 4 times in 4 seasons with New Mexico. Flag stays down here. Fernando played the cross in, and what a clearance there from Gordon. He had to get that absolutely right.
And again, New Mexico United just attacking 6 players, all interchanging the movement. Then Jabang, there's a little back heel from him there, a little reverse pass as well. Fernando, it looked close. I think he just about timed his run right. And yeah, just pouring numbers forward right now, New Mexico United.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Vargas cleared out by Gordon, only as far as Bailey. Cuts it back. Here's Lindsay. Cross goes in. Out to Akale now. Akale. Shot was blocked by Fair. New Mexico still keeping the pressure on. Seymour asking for it. He's going to get it. Another service goes into the box, and what a clearance once again. That time, it's the forward, Elijah Paul, getting in there.
And, you know, that's probably the most telling thing about this period of the game for Monterey Bay. That's the centre forward having to do so much defensive work just to try and keep New Mexico United at bay right now. But that was a brave header, but it had to be made as well.
Another corner kick here for New Mexico. Corner's really starting to pile up now. Official Greg Dopka just having a word there. Looks like Malongo and Talon Maples just discussing post-match dinner plans, I'm sure. Here's Akale. Delivers the in-swinger. Punched away by Campuzano. Here's Vargas. Sends it back in. The offside flag goes up. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Nico Campuzano, he has had his hands absolutely full here tonight. The former Lexington man made one appearance for Lexington last year. Prior to that, spent some time in the New England Revolution system. Most of his appearances there coming in MLS Next Pro in 2023. Foul call just outside of the center circle. It was Vargas that went down. That was Wes Fonguk called for the foul. The Englishman, 27-year-old, spent last season with Ebbsfleet United in the National League. Vargas, 40 minutes in, we've been saying his name a lot.
Yeah, and they're just like the freedom that he's got within this system from Sanchez, where he's picking up the ball on the halfway line, he's picking up the ball in little pockets in front of the back four. He's all over the place right now.
Maples getting forward, lays it off. That's the goal scorer, Ousmane Jabang. Off the mark in 2025 is Jabang. Looking for Vargas, flicks it on. Fernando tried to backheel, and Campuzano eventually comes away with it. There you just see the little bit of Brazilian flair every now and then from Fernando. Veteran, over 200 USL Championship appearances in his career. Garcia plays this in, headed away by Ryden.
What a great little flick by Vargas there, just at the front post, and it just squirms out, and really that's all he could do. Fernando. You can see why he went for the back heel. I
Yeah.
don't think that was necessarily flair. That was more out of necessity, I would say, you know, but certainly another decent opportunity.
That's the captain, Kalen Ryden, obviously feeling some sort of discomfort.
Yeah, that was a pretty big header that he just won there, and maybe it looks like maybe he's not feeling 100% after that. Maybe he just caught it on the wrong part of his head.
Look at some of the pups enjoying the match here tonight. Pups on the pitch here at the Lab for the first time in club history. Back to it, just about 3 minutes plus stoppage time left here in this first half. That one goes off of Fernando, and
I think he's given a handball.
let's see if it is. Yeah, it looks to be. I think you're right. And fortunately for New Mexico, just outside the 18-yard box.
That's the question that's being asked right now. Is Rebelar's asking whether it was inside or outside, and it is mighty close.
Carlos Guzman, 30-year-old veteran, Liga MX veteran. So this a dangerous opportunity here late in this first half. Off the free kick. Headed away at the back post by William Seymour. Goes back to Lyons, and he'll go all the way back to Campuzano. Flick forward, offside flag goes up on Rebelar.
Just having a little surge here, Monterey Bay, right before half-time. They're putting a little extra energy into it. Maybe getting their second win finally. You know, again, I don't doubt that the altitude, I believe they trained here this week. I'm not sure how much that would help or whether that would just tire the legs out, you know, like, yeah, it takes a while to really acclimatize to the altitude here. But, yeah, having a little period right before halftime.
There's a look for those that may be unfamiliar. We're sitting at just a few feet under a mile in elevation right here at the Lab. I'm sure, Chris, if we were to just drive up the street here and up that hill, we would likely be at that 5280 mark. But that is something of note, especially, obviously, for a team like Monterey Bay, live and train at sea level. See how that impacts the legs as this match wears on. 44.5 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Beautiful night in Albuquerque. Thank you for joining us here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. It's a clash of two Western Conference heavyweights. Seymour turns this one over. Fonguk with the interception. Here comes Malongo. Malongo plays it into the box. Off the head of Elijah Paul. Rebelar able to turn, but nobody home at the back post. That's going to be a goal kick here for Alex Tambakis. And so into first half stoppage time, presented by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. Just 1 minute added on here. San Antonio have pulled one back. That is the first half whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico lead Monterey Bay FC by way of a 29th minute goal by Ousmane Jabang, his first for the club, his first of the season. Chris, your thoughts on the first 45?
Yeah, really entertaining first half. New Mexico United deservedly going ahead with the 1-goal lead. Maybe could have been more, but Monterey Bay have definitely played their part in a really entertaining first half.
It's been fun so far.
Hey, we've got a saying. Get off your... Show off. Mountain Dew.
Every New Mexican deserves to age with dignity and independence. So New Mexico Aging Services provides connection, resources, and advocacy for aging adults, adults with disabilities, and caregivers across the state. From preventing mistreatment and advocating for rights, to guiding Medicare decisions, to connecting you with meals, transportation, and community, New Mexico Aging Services is by your side. Learn more at aging.nm.gov.
Gorgeous night here in Albuquerque as the sun sets here across the west. New Mexico on top of Monterey Bay FC, 1-0 at the break. Your halftime score presented by First Financial Credit Union. Let's go ahead and jump right into our halftime programming here with a look at what is to come. Big match going on out in San Antonio right now between Switchbacks and SAFC. New Mexico, if Switchbacks get at least a draw on this, New Mexico get a win. The black and yellow
Cup, another opportunity to play some teams from other leagues, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
And there you see Hartford will be doing battle with their regional rival, Portland Hearts of Pine. Indy 11 will be traveling out to Madison to take on the Mingos in that one. This is just some incredible matchups all across the board. And we've got more for you. There's plenty of matchups coming up on Saturday as the group stages of the Jägermeister Cup get underway. There you see One Knox. They're a League One club that'll be taking on Tulsa. How about this? Richmond going to Louisville City. That is one to watch.
That's awesome for Richmond.
Wait, come back. Wait, come back. I need more help.
Take a load off it. Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Bringing you inside the USL Championship and League One. Diving into all the biggest stories and top headlines. This is USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr.
Whoa. Termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
I'll show you something so good that you ain't never seen before. I'll show you something you've never seen before. Take a load off it. Take a load for free.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it. Not thing. And it was kinda everything. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Back here at the lab, it is Pups on the pitch night, and New Mexico United leading Monterey Bay 1-0. Halftime, your score presented by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, what do you say we take a look at our first half highlights, find out how we got to this point? First half highlights brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. We're here for you. We're here to win. Started off early, Chris. New Mexico asking a lot of the questions.
Yeah, and New Mexico United looked pretty dangerous from set pieces as well, and they Camazone just we couldn't tell if he thought it was maybe sneaking in at the back post or whether he was trying to save the corner, but an awkward moment. And speaking of awkward moments, Seco Bailey took a sluggish touch on the halfway line, nearly fouled Rebelar as well. Rebelar sees Tambakis off his line, gets the chip right in terms of getting it over the keeper, but unfortunately for Monterey Bay, the direction wasn't there.
And this was the moment of magic for New Mexico. The deflection at the back post. It falls to Usman Jabang, and bang, he's off the mark in 2025.
Yeah, and Jabang, he had an opportunity earlier on in the half as well, from just a little further out, that he snatched at a little bit and put well into the crowd. No mistake in there, kept it low, hard, side foot, found the bottom corner.
So for Jabang, it's his first goal in black and yellow. And this is a look at your halftime stats. New Mexico, they have had the lion's share of possession, which has been the normal for this Dennis Sanchez side this season, Chris.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
Me and my girls are anything but basic. And with the First Financial's high five checking rewards rate, we basically love living our life to the fullest. We used to wear pink on Wednesdays, but now orange is the new pink, and we wear it from head to toe every day. Ew, you have a basic bank? I got this. Nothing about me is basic, not even my credit union.
First Financial Credit Union, not a basic...
Welcome back here to the lab, ladies and gentlemen. Second half coming up here in just a couple minutes. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Thanks for joining us here tonight on CBS Sports Golazo Network, as New Mexico looking to preserve their perfect home record this season, Chris. They've taken 6 out of 6 points, looking to make that 9 out of 9 here so far this evening. Now, put your coach's hat on. Let's ask you, so far, it's been an entertaining half. There's been some chances, mostly for New Mexico. Monterey been able to catch a few chances on the counterattack. What do Monterey Bay need to change here in the second half?
They need to almost, I suppose the easiest way to put it is maybe like flip the field. They need to keep the ball a little bit more. You saw the possession stats. New Mexico United well in control of the game. And I feel like Monterey Bay, any passes that they've connected have been in their 18-yard box. Goalkeeper or centre-back, so getting the ball into more advanced areas and able to keep it there, make New Mexico United have to defend for longer periods and have to run around without the ball for longer periods.
And for New Mexico, this has been a little bit different than the previous matches they've played. We've seen teams really pack it in against them. New Mexico, they've been able to get up and down the field tonight.
Yeah, but you can see Monterey Bay, they might have to think about, especially outside backs. They really need their outside backs to maybe play a little, Garcia, Lyons, play a little bit deeper, because Fernando, Akale, they're having just their way out on the... they've got the freedom of Isotopes Park out there, the lab. So they need to change something, or else it could end up being 2 or 3.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official partner of the United Soccer League. We've got just over a minute before we get back to the action here. That is a look at Alex Tambakis making his 126th league appearance for the Black and Yellow since joining the club back in 2021. Or, as they affectionately know him here in New Mexico, Chris, the Greek god of saves, as he is the championship's all-time saves leader, over 630 in his career. And so this one should be good if that first half was anything to go off of.
Monterey Bay are going to make New Mexico United wait as well. They are still not out of the locker room. I believe the technical term is they may be getting a rocket from Stuart, Coach Stewart there, because they are not ready. The assistant coach is ready to put them through their pre-second half activation exercise. I'm not sure if the referee is going to let them do it, because they are, again, like I said, they're not even close to being back out on the pitch yet.
We saw a look at Dennis Sanchez, the fourth head coach in club history. With Las Vegas Lights last year, he set club records for wins, 13, points in a season, and their highest finish in the table, which earned him a nomination as a finalist for the USL Championship Coach of the Year. Now leading the Black and Yellow, and still Monterey Bay now starting to make their way out onto the pitch. There's a look at Fernando. Fernando opened his Black and Yellow account on the road against Miami back on March 29th. The lone goal scored in that match. So hearing that there might be a little bit of a malfunction there with the net. Now you see our assistant referee. You see the New Mexico United staff members, the beloved Clint Gray. Like every New Mexico United supporter knows Clint is. And there he is, getting the job done. Looks like we might have one more to fix, but second half kickoff should be here in just a moment. So there's Dennis Sanchez, his assistant coach. First assistant, Luke Sanford. Look, Chris, duct tape, zip ties, we got it. We'll figure it out.
He wears many hats in this organization. I just didn't know he was that good with zip ties.
And Sanchez having a look, and looks like we're all good to go now. Look at the crowd here at the lab. Expecting around 7,000 for Monterey Bay. Miles Lyons has been replaced by Gadiri. Sammy Gadiri, the 27-year-old. Spent some time with DC United in the MLS a couple seasons ago. He's also got some USL Championship experience as well. Spent 2022 with Loudoun United, scored twice in 13 appearances.
Looks like maybe Garcia's switch sides as well. With that change, he's taken up the right back spot in place of Lyons as well.
Here's Bailey. Now Malongo having his first go at Will Seymour here in the second half. Well done there by the veteran Will Seymour. Draws the foul. Malongo was giving him a run for his money there to start the match.
I'm sure that's not going to be the last time that we see that matchup. You know, with Will Seymour being on a yellow card, every club in the world, every coach in the world, once that yellow card happens through a defender, it's can you target them? And especially with the pace and power of Malongo, that's something we're going to see. But really well defended by Seymour. A veteran move, just gets his body position and then pumps the brakes, invites the contact, and draws the foul.
Huge comeback shaping up out at Toyota Field. San Antonio have scored 3 straight, Chris, and they now lead Switchbacks by a score of 3-2. There's the score update there in the top left corner. That one going on CBS Sports Network, so all of the USL Championship action here on the CBS family of networks tonight. So if San Antonio can hold on, Chris, that's going to keep New Mexico in that number 2 spot, should they be able to hold on. Here's Fernando. It's just a little too far ahead of Jabang. There's Galloway. Funguk finds Paul. That's Gadiri. Second half substitute. There's a ball head into the box. Flag stays down. It was Malongo. His cross was blocked there by Maples. Great turn from Malongo. Cleared out by Zalalem.
Much better by Monterey Bay, though. Said about maybe just keeping the ball, and especially in advanced areas. And that's the biggest period of possession that they've had, and the most passes they've connected as well. Maybe 12, 15 passes in a row. And finally, like I say, Malongo turns the corner. Puts a decent ball in, but dealt with by New Mexico United, just keeping Monterey Bay at arm's length right now.
Off the corner kick. Garcia looking back post. And Tambakis goes straight arm to keep that one from crossing the line. Had a couple of Monterey Bay players crashing in on him. Did Tambakis. Here's Akale. He's got space. Akale cuts it back. And perhaps just one too many touches there from Miquele Akale.
It's almost like he had too much time to think. What a great searching ball. I think it was Zico Bailey pinged it out there. Unbelievable pass. And Akale had so much time to decide what he was trying to do. And by the time he tried to make a move, make a decision, he drawn 3 defenders to him and just got snuffed out in the end.
Akale once again, this time draws the foul. Off the TLC free kick. New Mexico goes all the way back to Alex Tambakis. Biden was looking for Fernando. Couldn't get that ball past Garcia. This one goes all the way back to Campuzano. Zalalem. Here's Jabang. Bailey now. That one headed away just ahead of Miquele Akale. There's Gadiri coming in with the timely header. Seymour scored just over a month ago in that match out at Las Vegas. That was his 4th goal for the club since joining in 2022. It was also his 2nd career goal versus Las Vegas in the 89th minute or later. Fair gets it back. Lays it off. Here's Gadiri looking for Malongo. And Talon Maples ushers that ball out.
And the intensity, I talked about in the first half about how New Mexico United were relentless. And it's Monterey Bay. They've come out the traps in the second half, really flying and putting pressure on. And now it's New Mexico United are really struggling to keep the ball. And you can tell just by territory, where we sit, the whole game has been in this half the whole time. Luckily we haven't had to look at too much down the far end of the field because it's all been down here. New Mexico United in the first half had the majority of the ball in the attacking half, and now Monterey Bay really starting to string some possession together and starting to maybe make New Mexico United and the coaching staff feel a little uneasy about how this half has started.
Foul called on Gideon Zalalem. Zalalem spent last year with FC Den Bosch, the second tier of the Netherlands football system. Made 38 appearances. Coming into tonight, 5 interceptions. That leads the team in league play. Zalalem got quite a bit of playing time last Wednesday in that midweek Open Cup match. Subbed on 63rd minute in the match that ended up going 120 minutes plus penalties. Foul called. Actually, it's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Lindsay lays this one off. Vargas tries to get it back to Lindsay. Falls to the goal scorer, Jabang. And Jabang draws the foul. It's Gadiri, the guilty party. So TLC free kick coming up here for New Mexico. And this looks to be Makwele Akale territory.
That certainly is. It's a big opportunity again. New Mexico United struggled to get the ball into the attacking half at the start of this second half. And yeah, this is a very, very dangerous opportunity. But Jabang there, you can see even when he lost control of it, he still managed to somehow draw the foul. And it seemed like he was out of control, but he was still very much in control of the situation.
That foul was called against Fonguk. So Akale, Vargas, both standing over this. Well, my money is on Makwele Akale taking this, Chris, just if last season plus has been anything to go off of. One of the truly great ball strikers in New Mexico United club history, Makwele Akale. Dobka, our official, just having a word with the wall in front of these guys. There's Akale. He's looking to pick out. Looked like Zico Bailey making that run.
Yeah, it was. It was Zico Bailey at the back post there. Maybe that was something designed from practice, but you would think maybe it would have been Kalen Wright and Naples maybe at the back post. But yeah, there it was, Zico Bailey.
And for contact, Zico Bailey listed at 5'7". The two players you mentioned, Kalen Wright 6'2", Talon Maples 6 foot. Being 5'7", Zico showed some springs there. Throw in here for the Seasiders. Here's Bailey. Nice touch there from Zico Bailey. Jabang. Looking to play it on for Bailey. Gets on his horse, does Bailey, and keeps it in play. Jabang. Maples back for Akale now. Here's Seymour.
It's incredibly difficult for the assistant referee on the far side there, but based on Zico Bailey's body language, I'd say that ball might have gone out, but so hard for the assistant referee to have to look through the goalposts as well as look all the way across the other side of the field. And certainly the Monterey Bay defenders thought it had gone out as well.
Here's Akale. Lindsay has tons of space. Lindsay forces the save from Campuzano. What an opportunity there for the North Carolina native, Jalen Lindsay.
Great ball movement there, and all of a sudden Lindsay just sprung wide open at the back post, even has time to take a touch, and very unconventional save. It seems like Campuzano just drops to his knees. Yeah, there it is, and saves it with his knees. So not the most technically correct way, I guess, but it didn't end up in the back of the net, so he'd say it absolutely worked out fine.
Fernando called for the foul. This will be a free kick here for Monterey Bay, but Jalen Lindsay was looking to score his second goal in 7 days. Scored against El Paso in that Open Cup match last week.
It's almost like he tried to sneak it in the front post there, expecting the Campuzano to maybe guess that he was going to go far post, and maybe it would have had a better chance if he had gone far post, but in those split seconds you have to make a decision so quickly, and Keeper did well to not go down too early and make himself big.
Lindsay loses possession. This will be a throw in here for Monterey Bay. Great job there by Revelar. Here's Fair. He's looking for a runner at the back post. He was looking for Elijah Paul. This is going to be a corner kick here for Monterey Bay.
Will Seymour couldn't take any risks then, just had to see it out for a corner kick. But again, ball put in a really dangerous area. There was only two people to aim for Monterey Bay. Like I said, Paul and Malango at the back post, but looks like more changes incoming as well.
So we'll wait to get confirmation here on these subs, but early on I can tell you that's Anton Soyberg who's coming on, and he's going to be joined by Adam Larson as well. Looks like they're going to be replacing Moby Thayer and Pierce Galloway. Looks like we're going to get one more sub as well. That's Alex Lada coming on. He's going to replace Malango. Substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut. Toasted subs and sandwiches. So off the corner kick. Off the restart, taken short. Here's Gadiri. Gadiri sends this one into the supporters section behind Alex Tambakis' goal. And so for Larson, he just came on. He's coming back to the pitch tonight after a 5-week injury stint. We'll see what sort of form he's in. He's riding. Stuck a boot through that one and found Campuzano back in the 18. Tambakis comes out, heads it away. Tambakis hustling to get back in front of his goal. Rebelar, and it falls, and it goes just wide. And that was the forward we were just talking about. It was Adam Larson.
Yeah, it looks like Monterey Bay are throwing the kitchen sink at this in the second half now. A lot of attacking changes. Almost looks like they've changed to a 3-5-2 as well, with two out-and-out strikers, with Larson joining Paul up top as well. But there you see numbers around the ball, and New Mexico United have got a lot more bodies to deal with in and around the 18-yard box now.
Oh, massive collision there on the edge of the 18 between Elijah Paul and Kalen Ryden. That was a huge collision. And look here. So it was looked like an errant arm that went up and might have caught Kalen Ryden. Almost 65 minutes gone by. Despite just one goal being scored so far, Chris, plenty of action.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see, like I say, Monterey Bay, John Stewart has rang the changes and really attacking changes as well. So opportunities for New Mexico United on the break, but Monterey Bay are going to be a much different proposition now going forward. See, Garcia's playing more like a wing back, much higher, about 20-25 yards higher up the field. It looks like Soyberg in the middle there as well, a really attacking midfielder in there too. So again, lots of attacking options on the pitch right now for Monterey Bay.
So misplaced free kick there. Throwing here for New Mexico. So 4 changes already out there for Jordan Stewart. Nico Bailey leaves this one. Here's Vargas. Fernando! And Fernando just sends it wide. And you can tell by the reaction there from the Brazilian, he knows that was a massive chance.
It was a huge opportunity to potentially just ice the game there. Probably had enough time to take a touch, opted to take it early. So Camzone didn't have time to set his feet, just completely missed the target.
And Fernando likely having flashbacks of a similar opportunity that he had last Wednesday against El Paso in that first half. Wide open goal, and he sends it wide. And there you see, he was trying to pick out that top corner.
He was trying to pick out far post, top corner, and that time near post was open as well. Easy to say in hindsight, but opted to take it first time there. And again, yeah, another glorious opportunity, but Vargas again pulling the strings in the attacking half for New Mexico United, able to just pick up areas where it's the freedom of the lab.
Here comes Fernando. Cuts it back. Here's Akale. Akale now looking to get the cross in. It's dealt with by Monterey Bay. Full time from San Antonio, and what a comeback for SAFC. Big 3 points at home here on the midweek, Chris, and that's going to send SAFC to the top of the Western Conference, regardless of this result here. Check that. Monterey Bay win, they'll go top, but some work to do for that to happen. It's the foul conceded. Crowd starting to get a little frustrated here in the second half.
Yeah, you can sense the whole tone of the game has changed a bit. Again, the New Mexico United coaching staff a lot more animated on the sideline. Pretty much could do whatever they wanted in the first half. It was that's how dominant they were. But Monterey Bay, a completely different team in the second half. Came out after half-time. Clearly, they had a long talking to. They kept everyone waiting a little while, and it's worked. They've absolutely flown out of the traps. But again, altitude that we talked about earlier, how long can they maintain it? They're ringing the changes. Was it 5 subs already so far? 3 subs, 4 subs, 5 subs?
4 subs already.
Yeah, so they've already made a lot of changes trying to freshen things up, and it's made a difference.
Soyberg was looking back post. We've got a goal kick coming up here for Alex Tambakis. So obviously a big result out in San Antonio, and it was helped on by a red card from Switchbacks at about the 55th minute. From there, San Antonio scored twice to take the lead and ultimately take all 3 points. There's Vargas off the turn. Naples links up with Zalalem. Okale, flag stays down. Campuzano outside of his box to make the clearance.
Campuzano, great starting position. He read that very early. He knew that pass was coming and turned into a sweeper keeper there and dealt with the danger really well.
Seymour unable to keep that ball in play. Throw in coming up here for the Seasiders. Jordan Stewart looking to bolster his side and come out of here with at least a point tonight. Heavy touch there from Soyberg, resulting in a turnover. Bailey goes back to Jabang. Jabang looking in the box, nobody home. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. 20 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. Monterey Bay looking for an equalizer. Out comes Tambakis as Elijah Paul was breaking forward.
You see why both these goalkeepers are two of the best in the business right now. Another example of the goalkeeper really reading the situation very well. So quick off his line to deal with that ball in behind. And earlier on with Monterey Bay doing exactly the same as well. But got to be thinking New Mexico United, maybe thinking about making a change. The risks that Monterey Bay are taking now, flooding players forward. Pace of gains in behind, there's a lot of space. And see, here's Akale again, just finding this space all the time. Someone with a pace of gains would really suit this game, I feel.
Akale cuts it back. Here's Jabang. Floats it over to Lindsay. Bailey had a shot and it was partially blocked. And we've got a injury stoppage there. It looked like Rebelar might have taken a shot to a sensitive area, we'll say.
Rebelar's got through some work tonight, though. Playing such as a high forward in that front three early on, and then the amount of tracking he's had to do, and he's really put a shift in for his team tonight.
Rebelar has been with Monterey Bay the last 4 seasons. The 25-year-old, 10 goals in his career. Now you're going to start to see some changes here for Dennis Sanchez. Looks like Thomas Pondeca is getting ready to enter the match now for the black and yellow. And also, I think you called it there, Chris. That looks to be Mackenzie Gaines as well, putting his kit on over near the technical area. So it'll be just a moment before we see Pondeka and Gaines enter this match. 73rd minute. Gorgeous night here in Albuquerque. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit, but nothing to where it's having an impact. Lindsay comes in, gets a touch, and it'll be a throw in here for the visitors. Right in with the towering header.
Yeah, it was a great no-nonsense centre-back towering header there by Ryden. Maybe a little extra motivated after the tussle he had earlier on with Paul as well.
Flicked on. Ball poked away from Funguk. As he goes down, he was asking for a foul. Greg Dopka not interested. It'll be a throw or a goal kick, excuse me, for New Mexico. And now we're going to see those changes we were speaking of just about a minute ago. And so the night is done for Fernando, the Brazilian, and also the goal scorer Usman Jabang, as they'll be replaced by Thomas Pondeka and Mackenzie Gaines. Mackenzie Gaines, the Austin, Texas native. He went the distance against El Paso last Wednesday, Chris. 120 minutes under his belt. He did pick up one assist. It was on the Vargas goal in the 39th minute. That marked the second consecutive match in all competitions for Mackenzie Gaines with at least one assist. So starting to gel, this new squad.
Yeah, and it's an exciting squad this year as well. This is my first time seeing with my eyes, other than through the TV, actually being able to watch the team live. And I was saying to you pre-game as well, just watching the pace of Gaines. I think it was in the Miami game. I don't know if New Mexico United have ever had a player with just that just raw pace.
Mackenzie Gaines has got some MLS experience under his belt as well. Spent last year with a couple of different clubs. Made 11 appearances for Houston Dynamo in the MLS. Made 4 appearances for Nashville SC, also in the MLS. Prior to that, spent some time with Charlotte FC, also of the MLS. Ball finds the feet of Kalen Ryden. Gaines, 27 years old. He's got some experience in the lower levels of the German system as well. So we've got the attendance here tonight. Total attendance, 6,713, Chris. And when you break that down, that's over 6,500 humans, over 150 dogs in attendance. What a night. And what a match that they're getting to experience between these two Western Conference heavyweights.
You talking about the dogs or the humans?
Yes. Here's Seymour. Plays this out to Akale.
No, it has. It's absolutely been a really entertaining game, I think. First half, owned by New Mexico United. A couple of counter-attacks from Monterey Bay, but nothing too crazy. There was the chip over Tambakis, was the one thing of note for Monterey Bay. Numerous chances for New Mexico United. Second half, completely different story. It's almost like the rules completely flipped. Monterey Bay enjoyed a lot more of the ball. Made some subs that have really impacted the game as well. Had a few chances. Tambakis has definitely been busy. But New Mexico United have looked very, very dangerous on the break as well. So, it's not been that cagey game that we really maybe thought it would be, with two really strong defenses taking the field.
Ryden finds Zelalem. Loses possession in Zelalem. That's not good. He's holding his leg as he runs back. Ryden asking for the offside flag on Larson. Not going to get it. Cross goes in, and it's off the foot of Will Seymour. Zelalem still holding the back of his leg. And now Zelalem goes to his back. That is not good. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Yeah, you can already see Daniel Bruce getting stripped there. Imagine Vargas will drop a little deeper. And Bruce will be the higher and the point man in the attack, as it were. But yeah, that didn't look good. You see he felt the back of his leg immediately and just couldn't shake it, where sometimes you feel a little twinge and you hope you can just kind of run it off, but he certainly wasn't able to do that.
So the training staff out onto the pitch to have a look here at Gideon Zelalem. Zelalem, the Berlin, Germany native, 28 years old. He's got over 100 professional league appearances. Spent some time with Arsenal, spent some time with Rangers, NYCFC, Sporting Kansas City. So we've got some incoming substitutes for either side now. And so, as suspected, Chris, Gideon Zelalem, his night is done. He's going to be replaced by the all-time leader in appearances for the Black and Yellow, none other than Daniel Bruce. The Englishman he's welcomed to the pitch by the 6,500 humans. I'm sure there's a couple of howling dogs down there as well. And a real fan favorite here, Daniel Bruce. He's the only remaining player from the inaugural squad 7 seasons ago. And also entering the pitch, you've got Ethan Bryant, midfielder from Monterey Bay. He's on to replace fellow midfielder Wes Fonguk. So one Englishman comes on in Daniel Bruce. Another Englishman exits in Wes Fonguk. There's Daniel Bruce making his 148th USL Championship appearance right here in front of our eyes. He's found the back of the net 15 times for his only professional club.
Not ideal time, and having to make that substitution right as he defended the corner as well. Huge opportunity for Monterey Bay here.
Corner goes in, and that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Monterey Bay. That was a huge header from Alex Lara. He got great contact, just didn't have the angle right.
Yeah, there was a little holding of the breath there from in the lab. You can see just gets across his marker. It looks like Maples is just a little bit late getting out there to it. And again, like you said, just didn't quite get the angle right. Got a great connection, great leap, but just couldn't quite get the connection.
This ball misses everybody. Akale able to run onto it. Double team, no problem for Akale. He gets into the box, still bouncing around, and the foul called against the former South Georgia Tormenta man, Mukwele Akale. It's a little bit out of control going into the box there.
I was thinking that Vargas, that maybe Sanchez and the coaching staff might be starting to think about shutting up shop, but Vargas still staying up really high, so it's Zico Bailey and Pondeca just holding down the midfield still for New Mexico United. So Sanchez still feels like maybe they could get another goal to ice the game.
Poked forward, here's Larson. Ryden able to get a touch there and concedes the corner. Elijah Paul, he wanted to go quick. Instead, they'll slow it down and This is going to be Soyberg taking the corner. Anton Soyberg, the 24-year-old out of Denmark. Looks like the official just having a word there. Towards the back of the box, it looks like Thomas Pondeka. Corner goes in. Tambakis up to grab it.
Really good goalkeeping again there. We've been talking about those guys a lot tonight, but it just gives you so much calm and influence when your goalkeeper comes out. First contact was maybe 7-8 yards off his line, just coming and taking control of the situation.
Revelar still on the pitch. Still putting in a shift. Here's Bryant. Ethan Bryant started the match on the weekend against Lexington, coming on as a sub here today. 23-year-old. It's been last season with Sporting Kansas City 2 in the MLS Next Pro. Scored 5 times in 25 appearances. That ball judged to have gone out. You and I have the perfect angle right down that line, Chris. We're just waiting for the whistle. But
that was risky, though. The New Mexico United players stopped, and there was a definite delay. It was really close. And again, so hard for the assistant referee having to look through the goalposts.
Right.
So, yeah, a really big risk there.
So it sounds like one more substitution on the horizon here for Dennis Sanchez. And we're going to see it made right now. Defender Tony Herbert on to replace Marlon Vargas. And this purely a tactical substitution.
This is what I said, like the temptation. Now, hold on to what they've got. New Mexico United centre back on for centre forward, shut up shop and try and get out here, maybe potentially fourth 1-0 win in a row.
Vargas, he didn't look very pleased to be subbed off there in the moment. But I promise you, all of that will change here in about 10 minutes if his side are able to walk away with 3 points. Less than 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Thanks for joining us here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. It's been a fun one here tonight. 2 Western Conference heavyweights coming into tonight. Monterey Bay, we're sitting atop the Western Conference table. New Mexico in 4th. San Antonio, with their big comeback victory tonight, have claimed that top spot in the West. But New Mexico, they can go even on points here, Chris, with a game in hand. They're able to hang on. Foul called on Daniel Bruce. Guzman looking to play this forward. Seymour coming away with it, and Seymour drawing another foul. By my count, that's 3 just in the second half.
He's so good at just knowing that contact is coming and taking the tumble there, and not saying it wasn't a foul either as well. It was, the Monterey players are just tempted into having that little nibble at him.
Seymour making his 6th start of the season here tonight. Coming into this match, had 11 clearances, 6 tackles, 5 interceptions. So really getting it done defensively here for Dennis Sanchez. It's a long ball hit, looking for Elijah Paul. Tambakis able to get a foot on it. for Will Seymour, he's put into shift tonight, Chris, and he's another one of the players that went the distance against El Paso last week, playing the full 120 minutes. Here's Bruce. Pondeka. Lindsay gets it back from Gaines. Back to Gaines. There you see the pace from Mackenzie Gaines. Gaines has that ball poked away. Ball bouncing around here. Eventually finds the feet of Mackenzie Gaines. Overlapping run from Lindsay. He decides against it. So into the 90th minute we go here, Chris. New Mexico looking to hold on for their fourth consecutive 1-0 win. Two of the stingiest defenses in the league, as we touched on at the top of the broadcast, combined in their past 3 matches, these clubs both giving up a combined 1 goal. Make that 2 now with this one here tonight. Naples with a big challenge. As Bailey just clears the danger away. Still Seymour.
Yeah, there's Seymour still making, what's that, a 70-yard sprint to try and win the ball back.
Gaines cuts it back. Mackenzie Gaines! And hits it right to Campuzano. Seymour, he had loads of space there on that left side. It's a stoppage time. Through ball comes forward. And Elijah Paul called for the foul there.
Elijah Paul is a handful up front. He is being absolutely everywhere, and he's really good about using his body as well. Centre-backs for New Mexico United, Maples, Ryden will definitely know they've been in a game tonight.
So officially into second half stoppage time. 3 minutes added on. Stoppage time is brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. Fans, we'd love to let you know that the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. You can catch live matches and expert analysis every day right here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and on ESPN. Plus, go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Sounds like Jordan Stewart, Monterey Bay head coach, goes into the book. Foul whistled against Talon Maples. 90 seconds of the allotted 3 minutes remain. Minimum of 3 minutes added. There's Jordan Stewart. He was on the receiving end of a booking just moments ago. This, one of the final opportunities of the night here for the Seasiders. Zoidberg sends it in. Throw in here for Monterey Bay. It's Garcia. And we've got a foul. And Elijah Paul getting a bit overzealous. Maples taking exception to Alex Lara as well.
looked like maybe Lara raised his hands to Ryden. That's the way that Ryden fell down holding his face. It's whether anyone actually witnessed it. Looks like he's going to get at least a yellow card. It wasn't a raised hand. It was...
And Ryden, he's still down.
It was almost it was like an accidental headbutt. He went to head the ball, and basically accidentally, it looks like a little clash of heads there between him and Keelan Ryden.
So Alex Lotta shown yellow. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. So Alex Tambakis off the restart. We're past the 3 minutes of stoppage time. And that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico remain perfect at home this season, and Monterey Bay are dealt their fourth consecutive loss here in the 505. Just can't seem to shake it. Another clean sheet for Alex Tambakis. He's going to be sleeping good tonight, Chris. Give us your assessment here on tonight's match.
I mean, yeah, again, two defenses not easy to unlock. New Mexico United, it's a great platform to build from. If you can start and you know that you've got a chance of keeping a clean sheet, all you need is one goal to go win a game. That's a huge platform to build from.
And that is our play of the match recipient, Usman Jabang, opening his account here in black and yellow tonight. His goal in the 29th minute, your VARA play of the match. Your man of the match, Keelan Ryden, brought to you by Pepsi. There you see, getting it done, Chris. Aerial duels, 5 final third entries. He stepped up big defensively as well. And of course, Alex Tambakis taking home your save of the match honors presented by New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services. And so we'll go ahead and step aside for just a moment. We'll be back to wrap things up. New Mexico 1, Monterey Bay FC 0.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Full time here at the Lab, and it's another 1-0 victory for New Mexico United. And Chris, they have not conceded a goal in almost 375 consecutive minutes of play. What a victory here tonight over previously top of the West, Monterey Bay FC. Let's have a look at our full-time highlights, see how this one played out. And you and I were just talking, Chris, despite it being 1-0, so much action, so many chances for both sides here tonight.
Yeah, it really didn't feel like a boring 1-0. You know, you can have those.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's match. Don't forget to join us this Saturday for our debut in the Jägermeister Cup. Tickets are limited and available at newmexicoutd.com/tickets, or you can just scan the QR code on the video board right now tickets. Fans, please get home safely, and Somos Unidos!
Vargas. And comes through, and Campuzano couldn't tell if he got a touch to it or. Here's Vargas. And comes through, and Campuzano couldn't tell if he got a touch to it or. Vargas. And comes through, and Campuzano sends it over the crossbar. Looking to play this into the box. It gets to Akale. Bailey lets it run. Jabang. He sends it over the crossbar. Now this could be trouble. Revelar takes it off of Zico Bailey. Tambakis is off his line, and Revelar sends it wide. What an opportunity. Now this could be trouble. Revelar takes it off of Zico Bailey. Tambakis is off his line, and Revelar sends it wide. What an opportunity for the Seasiders.
You can see it just played the first time. That one, just the pace and power of Malongo.
The shot goes in, and Vargas just sends it wide. Tons of opportunities.
Maybe just played the first time. That one, just the pace and power of Malongo.
The shot goes in, and Vargas just sends it wide. Tons of opportunities here, Chris. The Malongo once again. The Malawi international. Down goes Malongo, and Will Seymour now goes into the book here, just 26 minutes. First Brazilian in club history. Through ball here for Bailey, and the cross almost snuck through to Jabang. It was cleared away at the last moment by Gal. First Brazilian in club history. Through ball here for Bailey, and the cross almost snuck through to Jabang. It was cleared away at the last moment by Galloway. Kale looking back post. It falls, and Jabang puts New Mexico ahead. For Usman Jabang, it's his first goal in black and yellow. And welcome to the lab.
Great set piece there by New Mexico United. Played short. Draw Monterey Bay off the post as well, and it's recycled at the back post. Ball finds its way to Kale. What a great ball it was into the back post, but then drops to Jabang, and he just has to pass it. Just has to be calm. He had a chance earlier on where he maybe snatched a bit and put it into the crowd. Interception there.
Kale looking back post. It falls, and Jabang puts New Mexico ahead. For Usman Jabang gets his first goal in black and yellow. And welcome to the lab.
Great set piece there by New Mexico United. Played short. Draw Monterey Bay off the post as well, and it's recycled at the back post.
Black and yellow. And welcome to the lab.
Great set piece there by New Mexico United. Played short. Draw Monterey Bay off the post as well, and it's recycled at the back post. Ball finds its way to Kale. What a great ball it was into the back post, but then drops to Jabang and he just has to pass it. Just has to be calm. He had a chance earlier on. He maybe snaps
back to the net 4 times in 4 seasons with New Mexico. Flag stays down here. Fernando played the cross in, and what a clearance down the back of the net 4 times in 4 seasons with New Mexico. Flag stays down here. Fernando played the cross in, and what a Seymour asking for it. He's going to get it. Another service goes into the box, and what a clearance once again. That time, it's the forward, Elijah Paul, getting in. He's going to get it. Another service goes into the box, and what a clearance once again. That time, it's the forward, Elijah Paul, getting off the mark in 2025 as Jabang looking for Vargas, flicks it on. Fernando tried to backheel, and Campuzano eventually comes away with it. Off the mark in 2025 as Jabang looking for Vargas, flicks it on. Fernando tried to backheel, and Campuzano eventually comes away with it. Half. Goes off of Fernando, and
I think he's given a handball.
Let's see if it is. Yeah, it looks to be. I think you're right.
Right now.
The corner kick. Garcia looking back post. And Tambakis.
They're at arm's length right now.
The corner kick. Garcia looking back post. And Tambakis goes straight. Zakale is looking to pick out. Looked like Zico Bailey making that run.
Yeah, it was. It was Zico Bailey at the back post there. Maybe that was something designed from practice.
Zakale is looking to pick out. Looked like Zico Bailey making that run.
Yeah, it was. It was Zico Bailey at the back post there. Maybe that was something designed from practice.
Zakale. Lindsay has tons of space. Lindsay forces this save from Campuzano.
Well,
Zakale. Lindsay has tons of space. Lindsay forces this save from Campuzano. Zakale. Lindsay has tons of space. Lindsay forces this save from Campuzano to get back in front of his goal. Rebelar, and it falls, and it goes just wide. And that was the forward we were just talking about to get back in front of his goal. Rebelar, and it falls, and it goes just wide. And that was the forward we were just talking about. It was Adam Larson. Bailey leaves this one. Here's Vargas. Fernando! And Fernando just sends it wide. Bailey leaves this one. Here's Vargas. Fernando! And Fernando just sends it wide. Minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. Monterey Bay looking for an equalizer. Out comes Tambakis as Elijah Paul was breaking forward. 20 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. Monterey Bay looking for an equalizer. Out comes Tambakis as Elijah Paul was breaking forward.
Yard sprint to try and win the ball back.
Gaines cuts it back. Mackenzie Gaines and hits it right to Campuzano. Seymour, he had loads of space there on the left side.
Yard sprint to try and win the ball back.
Gaines cuts it back. Mackenzie Gaines and hits it right to Campuzano. Seymour, he had loads of space there on that left side. It's Garcia. He's got a foul. Elijah Paul getting a bit overzealous. Maples taking exception to Alex Lara as well.
Maybe Lara raised his hand.